So that's what was making all the noise. A little Saab Sonnet with a 3-cylinder 2-stroke, 750cc. Holds many records at Bonneville Salt Flats. There's another record in there. Here's 3 records. Also has a record for World of Speed that's not on there. There's what we did for power. There's our test speed, 80 to 94 mile an hour. And you can really see the smoke. This thing gets on the pipe at about 6,700 RPMs. Turn the fan off here. So you hear about this has triple chambers, by the way, but you hear about a 2-stroke getting on the pipe. That's what we're referring to. This is an old piston ported engine. It's got pretty long intake durations. That's why you see all that smoke kick out. It has to bubble and gurgle and babble and work its way up through the RPM range. Once it gets to about 6,700, you're working with a tune length on your intake, a tune length on your exhaust. Together, you're looking for a peak RPM range. We've had this one tuned for about 8,000 RPMs. The length of your intake track helps determine that. And you're catching, in this case, the 3rd sound wave. So sound wave comes in and hits the piston back and back, and on that 3rd wave we catch the piston at top dead center basically, and the air can ram in. Basically it becomes almost like a supercharger at that point. Air will ram in at the speed of sound with the piston up and go underneath the piston, and you actually get that added effect of boost that makes a 2-stroke so crazy sounding once it gets on the pipe. And that's all that's really happening. We're getting to the point where the RPMs equal the tune length of the intake and the exhaust, and those have to be matched, otherwise you have issues. This is a really highly tuned motor for a really narrow power band because we run at Bonneville Salt Flats. So there's the hood we run, and again it's 750cc, so that's pretty good horsepower. This engine from the factory had about 60 horsepower brake, and we're obviously running a chassis dyno and putting down some pretty good torque and horsepower. So if you want to know what on the pipe is for a 2-stroke, now you've seen it. Now you know why it spits and sputters and coughs, because you see all that intake emulsion, fuel that's spitting back out of the carburetor before it gets into its sweet range, and then she'll start singing.